The Galactic Council chamber fell into an uneasy silence as Ambassador Theron of the Vraxian Empire delivered his ultimatum. His crystalline form refracted the chamber's pale light into 1,000 fragments as he gestured toward the empty seat marked with Earth's insignia. 3 cycles, he announced, his voice resonating through translation matrices across the assembly. 3 cycles since humanity went silent. No transmissions. No trade vessels. No diplomatic responses. They have abandoned their responsibilities to this council. Counselor Zeshitara, her chitinous plates clicking nervously, shifted in her suspension pod. Perhaps we were too harsh with the sanctions. Too harsh? Theron's laugh was like shattering glass. We merely demanded they share their medical technology. They possessed cures for 17 previously terminal diseases. The preservation protocols clearly state that member species must share breakthrough technologies for the common good. They called it extortion, murmured Ambassador Krell from the Delphi Confederacy, his multiple eye stalks drooping. They said we wanted decades of their research for nothing in return. They were obligated. Theron slammed his appendage against the podium, sending harmonic vibrations through the chamber. When they refused, we had no choice but to impose economic sanctions, restrict their jump gate access, and freeze their colonial permits. They brought this isolation upon themselves. The assembly murmured in agreement, though several delegates remained uncomfortably quiet. Humanity had been difficult from the start. Too independent, too protective of their intellectual property, too proud. The sanctions were meant to humble them, to remind them that in the galactic community cooperation was not optional. But 3 cycles of absolute silence? That was unexpected. Perhaps, suggested Counselor Mirax, her bioluminescent skin pulsing anxiously, we should send an envoy. Verify their status. Ensure the sanctions haven't caused undue. An alarm pierced the chamber. Every delegate's personal console flashed with the same emergency alert. Jump gate signatures, hundreds of them, thousands, all appearing simultaneously at the edges of council space. Theron accessed the tactical display with trembling appendages. What he saw made his crystalline structure dim with something that might have been fear. Ships. Human ships. But not the modest frigates and cargo haulers they'd operated before. These were massive. Dreadnoughts that dwarfed even the council's largest cruisers. Sleek black hulls that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. And there were so many of them, forming a perfect perimeter around every council homeworld, every major station, every critical infrastructure point. How? Zeshitara whispered. How did they build such a fleet in 3 cycles? Ambassador Krell's voice was hollow. They didn't build it in 3 cycles. They built it before. They were preparing for this. A new signal appeared on the main display. A human face, middle-aged, female with gray-streaked hair and eyes that held no anger, only cold determination. Former Ambassador Chen, humanity's last representative to the council before the sanctions. Counselors, she said, her voice calm. We received your demands. We considered your sanctions. We evaluated our position within this council, and we have concluded that we no longer require your approval to exist. Theron found his voice. You cannot threaten the council. We have defense fleets, You have nothing we fear, Chen interrupted softly. Your defense fleets are designed for shows of force, not actual warfare. You've had peace for 3,000 years. You've forgotten what conflict truly means. Humans have not. We've fought each other for our entire history. We understand war in ways you've deliberately forgotten. The tactical display updated. Every council military vessel was now bracketed by at least 3 human ships. Not attacking, just waiting. We don't want war, Chen continued. We never did. We wanted partnership, mutual respect, fair trade. You wanted subjugation dressed as cooperation. You wanted our breakthroughs without compensation, our compliance without consideration. You pushed us to choose between our sovereignty and your approval. She leaned forward, and every delegate in the chamber felt the weight of her gaze. You taught us an important lesson. In this galaxy, strength is the only currency that matters. So we went silent. We stopped talking and started building. We used those 3 cycles well. Counselor Mirax's bioluminescence flickered desperately. What do you want? Surely we can negotiate. Negotiation implies we need something from you, Chen said. We don't. We've mapped 17 uninhabited systems rich in resources. We've established colonies on 12 worlds you haven't bothered to survey. We've developed our own jump gate technology. Better than yours, actually. We've created trade agreements with the independent systems you've ignored. In 3 cycles of silence, we've built an empire that answers to no one but ourselves. Then why this display? Theron demanded, gesturing at the fleet on the tactical display. Why surround our worlds? To ensure you understand, Chen said quietly. Humanity is leaving the Council effective immediately. We will not pay your fees, follow your regulations, or seek your permissions. We will forge our own path. These ships are here to guarantee that you do not attempt to stop us. You're declaring yourselves enemies of the Council. Zeshtura's voice cracked with panic. No, Chen corrected. We're declaring ourselves independent of it. There's a difference. We will not attack you. We will not interfere in your affairs, but neither will we be controlled by your policies. The galaxy is vast enough for both our civilizations. We suggest you accept this new reality peacefully. The tactical display showed the human fleet beginning a synchronized jump sequence. We're leaving now, Chen said. We've transmitted our territorial boundaries and our non-aggression terms. Respect them and we'll have no conflict. Violate them? She paused, letting the implication hang in the air. We've also left something for you. Complete medical databases for those 17 disease cures. No charge. Consider it a parting gift. Proof that we were never the monsters you tried to make us. Before anyone could respond, she added with the faintest smile, You pushed us to choose between submission and strength. We chose strength. But unlike you, we remember mercy. The transmission ended. On the tactical display, the human fleet vanished as quickly as it had appeared, jumping away to destinations unknown. The council chamber remained in shocked silence. Theron slowly lowered himself into his seat, his crystalline form no longer refracting light but appearing dull and opaque. Around him, the most powerful beings in known space sat frozen, realizing they'd made a catastrophic miscalculation. They had thought silence meant defeat. They had pushed too far. And now humanity was answering, not with words but with the cold certainty of independence earned through preparation and power. The council had wanted humanity humbled. Instead, they'd created something far more dangerous, a human civilization that no longer cared what the council thought. In the cycles that followed, the council would learn to live with their new neighbors. Some would even come to admire humanity's audacity, but none would ever forget the lesson of those 3 silent cycles. Never mistake human patience for human weakness.